Jeremiah 30 and 5. But thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. I like to start off by saying, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and the like-minded brothers. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Amawan back at you with another lesson. I'm going into the title. All right, Jacob's trouble coming for the Northern Kingdom tribe of Asher. All right, Venezuela. All right, and I got a couple videos I'm gonna play of what's going on out there. All right, and the reason I say Jacob's trouble is gonna come to the tribe of Asher because you had DT today in his little speech he had. All right, he basically said that they are now going to take over, all right, Venezuela, okay? And by him saying that, all right, that's going to bring in Jacob's trouble to that tribe, you see, because now it's going to be under, you know, military lockdown, basically, of, you know, the United States military, okay? So, you know, when we're in war, okay, a lot of things happen. All right. And us taking over that, you know, well, not us, but, you know, Donald Trump taking over that country. All right. It's free game on that country now. So that now they could control it however they want. Now they could do whatever they want to it. You see? So being in war, all right, you get, you know, spoils of war. You know, so they're gonna have a lot of women that they're gonna be. You're gonna have their little military troops that's gonna be doing a whole lot of wicked things, man. A lot of women gonna be ravished. All right, remember they cutting lights out there, so they doing things in the dark. Okay, men are gonna be, you know, snatched away, taken into, you know, FEMA camps, taken hostage. You know, taken into a lot of them might end up, you know, putting on American suits to go to the war. They're gonna use them in the front line for other places, you know, because at the end of the day, this devil's always trying to make a way to the tribes and trying to take the tribes out of the way, you see. Because let's grab that real quick. This is Psalms 83. All right. And 2, it says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, all right, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head, all right, and you just seen that today, all right, you seen how he was boasting himself in his speeches, in his little speech that he did today towards Venezuela, okay, basically letting them know, like, listen, we got you, you know, we have cut off the head, you know, by taking your president, okay. And now we're taking control of your whole entire country, all right? Which at the end of the day, you know, a lot of it is based on the oil that they want, the resources, all right? But it goes deeper than that also, you see? Now they done took out the president, right? Now they're actually trying to set up a woman president, all right? That basically she's all for the little hatters. You see, so there's a lot of shit going on over there, man, that is deeper than what we think. You see, but it says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head with what? With great pride, right? And they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and have consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are all confederate against thee. You see, you know, with all these nations, believe it or not, even though they're standing up against each other, all right, they all have a certain agenda of bringing this whole entire world into one consent. You see, bringing them into one world order, a one world religion. All right, so these other nations might hate us, but see, the top governments that rule these nations, they all sit together, all right, and conspire against us together, you see. So they always are in cahoots, the governments, okay, maybe not the people of these countries, all right, But the governments that rule, remember, you have the Illuminati, all right? The Illuminati, the top banker families, but then you have like the Illuminati of all these other nations also, you see? They have their own little top-notch, Illuminati members according to their countries, all right? Esau being the top one, all right, that runs everything along with these small hatters, right? So, you America and Israel, they run together, at the end of the day, and they the ones that's running the show, you see. But you have to understand that these other nations also, all right, they have their own little Illuminati agenda, okay, and they're all trying to be in cahoots with this one world government, all right. Best believe it. All right, so it says for they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. All right, so all these nations, all right, are confederate against you Jakes, all right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, so a lot of trouble is about to come to the tribe of Asher, man, after basically DT telling you that we have taken over, all right, and we're going to basically have you in full control. All right, so let me read this, Jeremiah 30:4. It says, and these are the words that the Lord Yahweh spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. All right, so this is going to come to all you tribes. All right, and it says, for thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. And that was one of the things he was saying, all right, that they're going to bring safety to that place. And we know when they shall say peace and safety, there should be sudden destruction. All right. There's no such thing as peace with this devil, man. He was made to take peace from the earth. All right. So whenever he speaks about peace, it's a goddamn lie. All right. This is 6 and 4 in Revelations. And it says, and there went out another horse that was red. All right. And we know that red represents Esau. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. So why would he ever speak about peace, man? And when he does speak about peace treaties and things like that, what does he do? He quickly breaks those covenants, as he always has, you see, because he's not a man of peace. That's not in his nature. All right. It says, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So that's his blessing. His blessing is to have the fatness of the earth and to have the sword. That's his blessing. So in order for him to have the fatness of the earth, he has to use his second blessing. Okay, he has to use this blessing of the sword, and that's what he does. He makes moves through his military power, you see. So again, this devil is never going to bring peace, because they drink the wine of violence, as it tells you in Proverbs 4, and this is 16. It says, for they sleep not except they have done mischief. So we know this devil's known for his mischief. Okay. And their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. You see? So everything this devil does is concerning hell, man. All right. That's what he's always done. He's always brought hell, all right, upon the world. That's why when the righteous are in authority, the people gonna rejoice. But see, he's the wicked that beareth rule, right? When the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So he has this whole entire world, this whole entire earth constantly mourning, man. You see? And that's what he's always been about and will always be about. All right. As scriptures say, can the Ethiopian change his spots? All right, let's grab that real quick. Was that Jeremiah 2:13? I think it is. Nah. Let me. This is Jeremiah 13. Salakia. I don't know why I thought 2. This is 2:23, and it says, "Can the Ethiopian change his skin?" Did I say that? Did I say spot? Salakia. I meant to say skin. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. You see? So you're not going to change this devil's ways, man. He's always been one to be accustomed to do evil. All right. That's why it tells you in Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. All right. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. You see? So they get away with these things, man. And by them getting away with this, man, over and over and over again, their mindset is set for them to continually be evil. You see? But see, the reason the Lord is allowing that, right, is because, let's grab this. This is Job. All right. This is Job 21 and 28, right? It says, let's take it from 27. It says, behold, I know your thoughts and your devices which you wrongfully imagine against me. For ye say, where is the house of the prince, and where is the dwelling places of the wicked? Have ye not asked them that go by the way, and do you not know their tokens, that the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction? They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. See, so they get away with things over and over again because the Lord is reserving them for the day of judgment. You see, and it's not going to be able to change that. When the Lord comes to destroy this devil, it's going to be for good. You see, he's going to have to put him in slavery first. All right, because he's going to have to pay for all the atrocities, all the wickedness that this devil done did, all the genocide. He has to, you know, all the peace he has snatched out of the earth. All right, he has to pay for that. All right, he's going to clean up all these dead bodies. Okay, but after 1,000 years, man, the Lord's going to disintegrate this nigga, man. All right, never to be heard of again. Okay, so he is reserved onto the day of destruction. You see, it says they brought. It says that the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction. They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Okay, who shall declare his way to his face, and who shall repay him what he has done? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is going to repay him. You see, who's the ones that's declaring it to his face? All right, the prophets. Okay, who shall stand up against workers of iniquity? All right, who shall stand up against the evildoers? We stand up boldly. You see, this is why we risk our lives on a daily basis, man. See, we're the ones that's really the true heroes, because we risk our lives every day, man, knowing what's about to come upon this place, man, knowing that persecution is going to come for our people. You see, but we still stand up boldly against this devil, all right, because that's who the Lord is looking for, someone that's going to stand up against the evildoers, man. You see, and very well so, we will always, for the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, all right, and we'll take us being hated for Yahweh Shai's sake, man, because righteousness has to be set on this earth, man. This is why we need Yahweh Shai ASAP, all right, because we're not going to be able to make it out of here unless we have Yahweh Shai. That's the only way you can make it out of here. There's no other way for you to make it out of here, man. In order for us to have superhero powers, right, to have spiritual power, we need Yahweh Shai. You see, in order for us to do anything out here, man, it has to be done through Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. We cannot do it of ourselves. All right, all glory and praises is going to always go up to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and this is why he has put us in that predicament. You know, one, because we were wicked as hell and worshiping other gods, and he taught us a lesson. All right, but he's also put us in that predicament to show the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai when that time comes to bring judgment. All right, to show the power that the Lord has with his people. You see, he also raised this devil up, right? The bases of men, to show the power of how he gonna destroy him, and how he could take something so low and so base of the earth and the scum of the earth and make it to rule. All right. But eventually he's going to take us out of the bottom, all right, because we're at the bottom of society right now, man. This is 1 Samuel 2 and 7. And it says, the Lord Yahweh maketh poor and maketh rich, okay? See, so we've been brought down poor, all right, but he's also has made us rich in faith, right? It says he bringeth low and he lifteth up. So he has brought us down low, all right, to build us back up again. Okay. As a matter of fact, when you go to Hosea, all right, Hosea 6 and 1 says what? Come and let us return unto the Lord Yahweh, For he has torn and he will heal us. He has smitten and he will bind us up. All right. So that's what the Lord has always done. You see? NLT says, come, let us return to the Lord Yahweh. He has torn us to pieces. Now he will heal us. He has injured us. Now he will bandage our wounds. Okay. In just a short time, he will restore us so that we may live in his presence, man. And that's what he's doing right now. He's restoring the true believers, all right? The 1/3, the elect, all right, to return back to him, all right, and take us the hell up out of here, all right? So it says, 1 Samuel 2:7, the Lord Yahweh maketh poor, maketh rich, he bringeth low and lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, because we was in confusion, man, to the point where we were discontinued from our heritage, you see. But now the Lord has stirred our minds, all right, back into remembrance. Let's grab that real quick. This is Baruch 2:30, right? It says, oh shit, Baruch 2:30, and it says, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. You see? Why? Because he has stirred up our minds, our pure minds, back into remembrance, as the scriptures say, man. You see? So it says, and shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, their power, for I will give them a heart and ears to hear, right? And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord Yahweh Shai. You see? So it says, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords over it. You see? And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people out of Israel, out of the land that I have given them. You see? And that's how you know that they're not the real people out there. That's the small hiders ain't the real people that's living there. You see? You go to Ezekiel, the 36th chapter, it talks about what? All right. Aha. They have taken our land, man. Okay, they have taken the holy land, all right, and claimed it to be theirs. You see? But see, the Lord is about to destroy them and take them out of there, and he's going to bring us back to our place, man, where we belong. You see? So let's go back to 1 Samuel 2:8. It says, he raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifted up the beggar out from the dunghill, and to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and he has set the world upon them. You see? So he gonna return us back to being what? Kings, man, gods. All right. But before all that, all right, trouble is gonna have to hit this place, man. All right, and that's what's coming. All right, to these Venezuelans, man, which they come from the tribe of Asher. All right, let's go back to Ecclesiastes 8:11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Lord Yahweh, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before Yahweh. You see? So the time has come that he's not going to no longer, you know, allow him to fulfill his days anymore, man. He has but a short time. He has bounds that he cannot pass. All right. But, you know, the Lord right now is just letting them, you know, smack the shit out of all the 2/3 of our tribes, man, because they don't want to hearken on to the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. And that's the troubles that's coming. All right. This is back to Jeremiah 30:5. It says, for thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Okay. So for anybody that thinks there's going to be peace brought upon this place, man, that's false, man. Because there's nothing but fear. See, the whole duty of man is to fear Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. And because you haven't hearkened on to the Lord going to teach you how to fear him by bringing these calamities upon you, man. Bringing all these trials and tribulations against these 2/3. Okay. And it says, for thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling. All right. And the voice of trembling is the prophets, man. Okay. Literally, because through the terror of the Lord is how we persuade men to turn back to the Lord. So you're supposed to tremble when you hear this word, right? It says of fear and not of peace. Okay. So again, you know, the prophets of old, all right, as a matter of fact, let's grab that. They've always prophesied what? All right, of wars, evils, and pestilence. All right. But let's grab this. This is Salakia. This is Jeremiah 28. And 8, it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both of many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. The prophet which prophesieth of peace. When the word of the prophet, all right, when the word of the true prophet comes to pass, right, shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai has truly sent them. All right. So anybody that's preaching peace onto the people, man, is nonsense. You see, because the Lord, all right, is not going to bring peace upon this earth. The Lord said, think not that I come to bring peace on earth. I come not to bring peace, but a sword. All right. So the Lord coming to divide, to bring division upon this place. The true believers from the non-believers. Okay. The righteous from the wicked. You see? So there's not going to be no peace, all right, for our people. All right. And when the judgment of the Lord comes, see, a lot of people going to wish that they will put to death. All right. And the scriptures talk about that, man, that they shall, what is that in the 9th chapter of Revelation? They shall seek death and not find none. You know, especially when the Lord comes with his judgment. The Lord is known by his judgments, man. The Lord is cruel, right? Scriptures say that in Ecclesiasticus, the 43rd chapter. The Lord is great and terrible. Okay. So he's great to his elect. All right. But it's terrible to those that don't believe in him and those that are against him. You see? So Jeremiah 30:6, it says, as ye ask ye now, and see whether a man does travail with child, right? Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Okay. So let's grab down the NLT so you have a better understanding. It says, now let me ask you a question. Do men give birth to babies? Then why do they stand there ashen-faced, all right, hands pressed against their sides like a woman in labor? Okay. In all history, there has never been such a time of terror. It will be a time of trouble for my people Israel. Yet in the end, they will be saved. You see, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. It's going to be a time of terror. All right. And right now, all right, with these devils taking over Venezuela, it's going to be a time of terror for the Venezuelans, man. Let's grab a couple of these videos I ran into. All right. Now I'll grab a couple of these scriptures. real quick. This is Shalom. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Barakatah. Let me put my Bluetooth on. All right. So look at this shit. Look at this shit. They got his ass in captivity. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Don't believe everything you see. All right. This nigga, I'll tell you straight up, he got something to do with all these niggas. All right. It's no coincidence that they done snatched his ass up and brought his ass back to America, man. All right. And there's a whole lot of shit right now going on in Venezuela. All right. Niggas is standing up. It's about to be some heavy war out there. All right. Let me grab, let me see. Look, this is Venezuelan troops patrolling the streets of Caracas, right? Harassing virtually anyone seen in the streets. An unofficial state of martial law has likely been enacted, okay? And trying to tell you, this is what's going to happen, all right? Martial law on a different level out there is about to happen, okay? Because that's a poor-ass country already, all right? And I tell you straight up, when you go to these poor countries, they more gully, all right, than these places, than the places out here in America. America's a bunch of cornball ass niggas, candy corn niggas, man. All right. But when you go to these other countries, these third world countries, them niggas know about war. That's what they grew up around. That's what they live out there. You got little 5-year-olds who go out there and start shooting motherfuckers. You see? So you know, it's a different type of lifestyle living in those poor countries, man. Straight real ghettos. Not like the ghettos you see out here, man. These people think that it's ghetto out here in America, man. Listen, the bummiest nigga in America live better than the than the people that are rich and fucking in these other countries, man. In these third world countries. I'm gonna put it to you like that. We spoiled out here in America, believe it or not. If you ever go to those countries and you see how them people really live, you would appreciate your life a little bit better. If you ever been one to leave out of the States, you know what I'm saying? But check it.
Ay, papi, también chorreado. Lo van a... Mierda, qué desastre. Mira. Mira. Bajando a la gente.
He said they just snatching people.
Parando carros. Están, pues, primero que están defendiendo la posición, pero no le va a durar mucho.
He said they trying to defend the post, but it's not gonna last long. The people, because the people standing up, right? I'll show you another one where they're showing the people standing up now. Let me see. Come on, bro. What was it? 1 second. I done took so many damn videos. This is them standing up right here. It says armed civilians have taken to the streets in defense of President, right, Maduro's government following his alleged abduction in the early morning hours by the current U.S. administration. All right. So this is what it's looking like.
En la calle, en defensa del presidente Nicolás Maduro. El que queda muro de Petare, luego todos activados en defensa de la patria. No podrán con nosotros.
He said, we activated out here in defense, all right, of what's going on. You see? And these niggas pulling out their little mopeds and shit. Listen, man, these people love war out there, man. All right, they peaceful people, but when it comes to defending shit, our people stand up, you know, and they stick together. You know, they're not like the people over here. Our people don't stick together over here. All right, but in these other countries, these people stick together when they trying to get, go against the government, or whoever else is trying to invade their space, man.
En el gran muro de Petare, iremos todos activados en defensa de la patria. No podrán con nosotros los enemigos del norte.
See, he said we defending ourselves against the enemies of the north. You see, so they just because this is what they're gonna do. They're invading their country, all right. And now that Trump done said that we're taking over, all right, and we're gonna control everything. See, that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna come with they're gonna come fully trying to control these Venezuelans, and they ain't gonna like that shit. But see, that's just part of Jacob's trouble. You see, and then eventually that's just gonna spread down further and further. This devil gonna try to take over everything, okay? Because that's what his agenda is, man. In order for him to rule the world and bring in this new world order and have, keep all these nations together, he has to go to every country basically and try to take over and run house on every country. Remember, he's given the curse of the fatness of the earth, all right, and the blessing of the sword. So with his sword and his military power, all right, he is going to try to take over the fatness of the earth to the best of his ability, right? Taking everybody resources. He don't give a shit about nobody. He don't even care about his own.
Mantenemos en resistencia y lucha armada.
Yeah, he said we hella armed, and this is the resistance.
El gran muro de Petare, tenemos la fuerza revolucionaria.
Yeah, he said this is the force of the revolutionaries, man. Listen, they ain't playing out there, right? Let's see what else we got here. 1 second.
This happened 14.
You got this fucking hoe bag.
Especially the woman who's taking over Venezuela. Not only is she pro-Israeli, she's pro-Likud. She signed a cooperation deal in 2020 with Netanyahu's Likud party. She fully supports Netanyahu's war on Gaza. Is this why we're seeing the bombing of them right now?
The UN has allowed the bombing and destruction of Beirut and Lebanon. They've allowed the bombing and destruction of Syria. Every day they permit the bombing of Yemen's Arab people. And now they're going to look the other way again. Now what does Berlin say? What does Paris say? What does London say? What does Washington say? Will they keep encouraging the Hitler of the 21st century now against the noble, peaceful people of Iran? Well, I say the Bolivarian, humanist, peaceful people of Venezuela say no to war. This madness must be stopped. People of Israel, brothers, Jews, as a Christian and Sephardic heir, I tell you, stop Netanyahu's madness. Only the people of Israel can stop this madness. Where will this racism, intolerance, hatred, and violence lead? Do they think missiles and bombs will subdue the will of the world's peoples? Where will so much destruction lead? Stop the aggression against Palestinians, Lebanese, Syrians, Yemenis.
And what they were saying was that damn, I had something I was gonna say. Damn, what the hell was it? Oh, they said that the attack was done not because so much DT was the one that wanted to do it, but it was ordered by the small hatters out there to do that. You see? Because they the ones that rule everything, man. They the ones that's ruling the world right now. You see? So this devil's just taking orders, all right, because he a little puppet. That's what he always been, a little puppet. All right, and he just taking orders from these small hatters at the end of the day. Okay, let's grab some more. Trying to see. Let's grab this one. It says this is why. All right, this is why the U.S. wants to attack Venezuela. Look how much oil Venezuela has as it keeps increasing and going up. And you know who was up there too? Nigeria was up there with them, high as hell with it. That explains why they went and made a tax on Nigeria. All right. Look at that shit. Venezuela, the 303 billion barrels, man. All right. This is exactly why they trying to take over them resources. And you had this devil basically saying, and then he also was talking about how it was always theirs, that the land was theirs, that all that oil was theirs, and they going back to confiscate what was theirs to begin with. You see, this is this devil. That's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because this motherfucker don't own shit. All right. What does he do? He is known for stealing, all right, and taking everybody's culture, taking everybody's land, you know, rape, rob, murder, pillage. All right. That's what this devil's always been known for. All right. So, you know, he wants to go and act like if it was always his. All right. But that, hey, the Lord ain't gonna let that fly. All right. Let's grab another one. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about.
President Trump promised to get America, as you know, out of foreign wars, not start new ones. Would he be going against that promise if he did, in fact, go to war with Venezuela?
Absolutely not. If you're an American and you want Maduro to stay in power, man, have you lost your way?
Ask yourself, why are we about to go to war with Venezuela? You might think it's because of oil, which is always a factor. But in this case, I don't think it's the main driver, despite what the mainstream media is trying to tell us. The real reason, I think, is because a certain other foreign country told us to, allegedly. This is reporting from the most popular newspaper in Israel. They say, quote, since Hugo Chavez's rise to power, Venezuela has become one of the most hostile countries to Israel and Zionism in Latin America. His successor continued the anti-Israel line with even more intensity. Thus, Venezuela, which previously maintained warm relations with Israel and even purchased security technologies from it, became a center of hostile propaganda towards Zionism and the Jewish state. Yep, they want to get rid of Maduro to install this lady named Maria Corina Machado. She was asked, will you restore diplomatic relations with Israel and establish Venezuela's embassy location in Jerusalem, as President Donald Trump did? And she replied, quote, yes, certainly. Venezuela will be Israel's closest ally in Latin America. We rely on Israel's support in dismantling Maduro's crime regime and in the transition to democracy. Together, we will lead a global struggle against crime and terror. The Venezuelan people deeply admire Israel and will always defend its right to live in peace without threat to its existence.
And that's the funny part. He was trying to see. That's how you know he gonna wage war against Jake out there, man. Because
also another tell, if you didn't notice,
because he was deeming them down as terrorists, man. Like he gonna do all you tribes out here in America too. You see, he just deeming them terrorists. Just talking about it was, you know, it had to do with drugs and them being, you know, high with the crime rate out here. Bro, I ain't never seen no damn Venezuelan gangs out here. None of that shit. You see, he just be making shit up to have a reason to go over there and destroy our people. All right. And people believe this shit. People believe the social media, man. You know, they don't know how to discern things of when it's true and when it's bullshit. All right, and when it comes to Esau, that's the easiest to discern because mostly everything that comes out of this nigga mouth is bullshit. You know?
Lindsey Graham, the senator of South Carolina, is literally in Tel Aviv receiving these marching orders.
President Trump promised to get America, as you know, out.
Let me see what else is in here.
Esos judíos de las 12 tribus, que no son los.
Oh, he was talking some shit in here. He said he said these small hatters that think they're the 12 tribes. He was going into some shit in here.
No, y en el Estado de Israel.
But I ain't even gonna play that one. Let me see.
Of course, the countries, Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua with Russia relationships. Why this region matters with all of its rich resources and rare earth elements. You've got the lithium triangle, which is needed for technology today. 60% of the world's
Look at that. The lithium, what did she call it?
Is in the lithium triangle.
Lithium triangle, which is needed.
60% of the world's lithium is in the lithium triangle. Argentina, Bolivia.
She said it's needed for the technology of today. Remember, they're trying to bring in this NWO, right? And all this technology, so they need certain areas and able to have total control worldwide. You see, because this technology is going to be a thing that's going to be worldwide. All right, it ain't just in one place. This is going to be, he going to usher all, he going to heap in all nations, right? The hour of temptation is going to come upon the whole world to be tried. You see, so it's a global thing. So that they need the key factors, all right, around the world that's going to be able to have their system running smoothly, all right?
Today, 60% of the world's lithium is in the lithium triangle. Technology today is in rare earth elements. You've got the lithium triangle, which is needed for technology today. 60% of the world's lithium is in the lithium triangle. Argentina, Bolivia, Chile. We just have the largest oil reserves. Light sweet crude discovered off of Guyana over a year ago. You have Venezuela's resources as well with oil, copper, gold. We have the Amazon.
So look at that shit. It's deeper than what we think, man. It ain't just about oil. It definitely ain't about no damn drug wars, you see? So it's about them having the oil. It's about them getting all that lithium because they need it for their technology. You know? She just said
31 have Venezuela's resources as well with oil.
Copper, gold. You see? Remember, this devil's in debt. So he need all the things he can get, all the resources he can get, all right, that make money. Oil's it's you talk about $1 trillion business, okay? Copper, gold, you know, all that is money to be made off of. And this devil just wants those resources. You see, he's always wanted everybody's resources because he has no place, he has no home. All right, he is a vagabond, a fugitive. All right, he's a wanderer. He has no culture. So he goes and destroys everybody else's shit. All right, takes everybody's cultures and calls it his own. This devil got to go.
Gold. We have the Amazon, lungs of the world. We have 31% of the world's fresh water in this region too.
Look at that, 31% of the world's fresh water. Man, you can't make this up, bro. When the Lord said he has the fatness of the earth, he really has his hands on everything in the world, man, somehow, some way. You see?
We have a lot to do. This region matters. It has a lot to do with national security, and we need to step up our game. Of course, the countries, Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua.
That's the country I'm from.
Why this region matters?
Nicaragua. And right now, Nicaragua, all right, they banning scriptures, all that. All right. Let me grab let me see. I think it's 2 more. Actually, there's a couple more. Hold on.
Russia has finally entered the battlefield to assist Venezuela against the United States. Russia's Ilyushin Il-76 giant cargo landed today in Venezuela's capital, Caracas, carrying 50 tons of supplies and 200 personnel. Let me tell you, this cargo plane is globally famous for delivering rockets, helicopter parts, warheads, military equipment, and it can supply S-400 systems. Apparently, all these supplies have now reached Venezuela. For the S-400...
And what's crazy is they were saying that there were Chinese high authority Chinese people in Venezuela when that attack went down. And if that's true, you go figure. You can only imagine how shit is about to escalate on another level. All right. Because I think one of these videos I got is I saved it, and it talks about that there might have been Chinese high-end officials that were in that place when this shit went down. And if there was, well, then China about to get it. They're about to get it cracking.
That 2 to 3 more trips will be needed. I should also mention that this Il-76 completed a 2-day journey to reach Venezuela, passing through Germany, Algeria, Morocco, and Mauritania. This mission also serves as a moral support gesture. Moreover, they stated that Russia's military support and supplies will be fully available to Venezuela. While Ukraine is receiving support from Europe, NATO, and the United States in the Russia-Ukraine war, Russia will definitely support Venezuela. As I mentioned before, 80 to 90% of Venezuela's military equipment is Russian-made. Now, only the U.S. troops and F-35s are monitoring the Caribbean Sea in Latin America, and an attack could happen at any moment. Russia...
That's right. So we on high alert, boy. But again, as it says, there will be rumors of wars, right? But the end is not yet. Why? Because this beast system has to be set up first. Okay. Let me see. So this one.
According to news reports, they're saying that China had officials in Venezuela when the U.S. struck them. And not only that, they are now saying that either they are unalived or they are missing and unaccounted for. If it turns out that there were very high China diplomats that were unalived during this strike in Venezuela, you all know what that means, right? I hope everyone understands what that would mean, because it will not be good for us. We don't have the bandwidth to do any kind of war with China. We don't have the manpower. We don't have the technology. We don't have the economy. So if any of this turns out to be accurate, we're fucked.
With no condom. Straight up. And it's funny because me and the one brother was talking about that on the earlier live I did. Stay true, hopeful. He was saying that we ain't got China to listen. We ain't got no chance against China or Russia alone, man. Those are two powerhouses that are beyond, powerhouse that America is on, man. They outpower them. That's for a fact. All right, maybe back in the day, America was, powerhouse in their asses, but not anymore. Okay, absolutely not. All right, let's grab. I think this one I read. It says Mark Rubio. It says Mark Rubio told the New York Times that he will wait to see if the current Venezuelan government hands over the oil. If it refuses, new attacks on Venezuela will follow. Go figure, right? This is
Russia just got involved. Russia just got involved.
Matter of fact, we ain't even got to listen to what she said, because they were saying the same thing that we just seen with the one with the planes, right? So it says the boogeyman is coming, Russia versus United States, and that's Ezekiel 38. All right, Russia gonna be the one to knock the daylights out of fucking America, man, along with these other nations also together. All right, but the main one that's gonna smack them, all right, in the back of the head is gonna be Russia, according to Ezekiel the 38th chapter. This is why Russia is being a guard onto all these nations. Okay, let's grab this one last one, and I'll grab a couple precepts and close out. It says groups of Venezuelan patriots are beginning to gather in the streets to defend their land against the invader USA.
¡Viva la patria! La patria no se vende. La patria se defiende. La patria no se vende. La patria se defiende. La patria no se.
It's that time, man. All right. War drums all over the place, man. All right. Let's grab that. This is what's that? Jeremiah. Actually, I think it's Jeremiah 50. All right. A sound of battle is in the land. Okay. And that's going to increase, and that's going to get worse, and there's going to be a sound of battle everywhere in the lands. Okay. In all these different countries. All right. This is where's it at? 22. It says a sound, Jeremiah 15:22, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? All right. That's what eventually is going to happen. All right. It's going to be cut off. Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed. All right. And when it does, all right, that the hammer is a representation of Esau. Okay. So he's going to be cut off. All right, let's grab. Damn, I had another one in my head. It was on the tip of my tongue, too. Let me see what the scriptures is up. Shalom Malak, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Barakatah, the brother Angel. All right, this is Jeremiah 6:14. It says, they have healed also the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying peace, peace, when there is no peace. See, plain and simple. Ain't no peace coming to this place, man. All right, Sirach 12:10. All right, never trust thine enemy. All right. For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. All right, Esau, you never trust Esau. Nothing that this devil's gonna do is gonna be righteous. Nothing that he says is gonna be he's gonna be stand strong on his word, man. He always goes back on his word. All right, no promises you believe. He's a covenant breaker. You see, it says though he humble himself and go crouching, yet therefore and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not altogether been wiped away. I believe is how you say it. Not been altogether wiped away. Yep. All right. That's right. This is Psalms 55:21. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Yeah, and that was at the time of Gad. You see? So he has that same mentality to this day. All right. Everything is about war with this devil, man. This devil knows nothing better than to bring war, wage war on people. All right. Yep, we brought that out through the spirit. You know, they have taken crafty counsel against our people. All right. This is Deuteronomy 28:49. It says, the Lord Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. All right. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. All right. And that was us going into captivity. Okay. And spiritually, you know, they're going to be going back over there. Right. And they're going to take all these Venezuelans as captivity, man. All right. Yep. This is Revelations 9:6. And then in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. Exactly. Right. Matthew 24:19. Woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. That's right. A lot of these women, all right, they gonna have children. All right. These women gonna be ravished. Their children's gonna be slaughtered in front of their faces, gonna be snatched out or snatched away from them. They're gonna go into captivity. You see? That's right. Shalom, y'all. Bashim y'all. Shah Barakatah. Faithful 14K, 144K, hopeful elect. All right. Wonder where they got all the arms to go against government. Oh man, these niggas. Hey, at the end of the day, well, they all the supplies, all the guns is directly from Russia, because like that one video was saying that all the Russian, everything that they have that's weaponry, or it comes from Russia. All right, so pretty sure somehow, some way, you already know these governments, how these governments be crooked as hell. They'll put that shit right there for the people to have. You know, there's a lot of shit behind closed doors being done, you know. And at the end of the day, who the hell knows? Esau himself might have been delivering guns, because that's what Esau do. He'll put guns where our people are at, deliver the guns to them just so we could kill each other amongst ourselves, man. You see? But, you know, most of, like that video said, most of the weaponry that they have there comes from Russia. So how did it get into the hands of the civilians? Hey, you got to put 2 and 2 together, you know? Wherever there's Jake, wherever is our tribe, somehow, some way, guns will end up in their hands, man, because it's a curse upon ourselves to be killing each other, you know? So, man, it's about to get gritty out there. All right, let's grab this real quick. This is this is Zechariah 14:1. It says, behold, the day of the Lord Yahweh cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. You see? So that's coming to our people, man. All right? A lot of people gonna be, a lot of women gonna be ravished, man. Houses are gonna be looted. Okay? Half the population gonna be taken into captivity. FEMA camps used for war. You know? These are the troubles that's coming to the tribe of Asher, man. It's about to get real ugly out there, real dark, you know. Gross darkness is going to take over the people, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, so that's pretty much the point. Just wanted to land back on that, you know, through the spirit. So Lord willing that you were edified. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and the like-minded brothers. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. The water for the precepts, the water for tuning in, brothers, kings, you know, keep fighting the good fight of faith and doing as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai, and keep praying that this place goes down, man. All right, in 2026, Lord willing it does. A Bible ball soon. Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Barakatah.